will really be an honor and a privilege to introduce the next speaker. Without this person, we may be here tonight, but we certainly wouldn't be here with the energy and invigoration that we have tonight, the spirit and the tenacity that we have to win. And it's a real honor and privilege to introduce our county chair, Ed Schaffer.
Hello, Somerset County. So, thanks, Mike. Do be proud. Welcome to our annual gala, the third at Dolce. I want to thank Dr. Zenon Christodoulou, John Graff, and the entire Finance Committee. You guys know without you, this room is empty. So thank you all. I want to thank the Executive Committee, Zenon again, of course, and Mike Goldberg, Peg Licklick. When I announce you, just raise your hand, because you guys deserve the praise. Councilman Dan Glicklick, Councilman Ben Auletta, and our erstwhile council, Paul Swaneke. Paul keeps us out of jail. And we're staying here, guys. Our state committee is represented here, Joel Shane, my law partner and good friend. Mayor Janice Allen. And Roberta Carpenter. Roberta has done a great job keeping Somerville. And we have an organization that enables me to thank a few more people. We have regional vice chairs in this county, so I want to thank Paul Drake, John Clyde, who's here with Franklin, Beverly Cransatelli. You're going to hear the name Cransatelli a lot, by the way. That's a big family, and we got them spread throughout the county, so we can use them in various towns. Joan Pritchard. Joan? And Councilman Joe DeMarco. While we're on the DeMarcos, his wife Ginny DeMarco is the treasurer, and you guys know how hard it's got that. It's great that we have so many people. This is going to take me a while, because we also have a great young staff who's come into Somerset County to help us, and they're going to show us the way to victory on November 2nd. So I want to mention and thank Steve Lennox, Chris Sprague, Rich Taraka. We stole those guys from Frank Lautenberg. He doesn't need them anymore. And I want to thank Gary Hirsch, who's been with me for a really long time. Gary actually taught me how to run these ground operations. And Cliff Wilson. Cliff is not only a tremendous musician, but a very talented designer. Cliff's done a great job in many of our towns this year. Thanks, Cliff. And Mary Cransatelli. Told you there's another Cransatelli, our volunteer coordinator. Mary, thank you. Dr. Jeff Lewis. Thank him for coming into this county to help us. I want to thank Joey Novick, who is now our regular, he's our in-residence auctioneer / comedian. Thank you, Joey. And just generally, I could announce the names of every single person in this room, because all of you make this happen. So it's the contributors, the sponsors, the benefactors, the people who just, like John Graham, show up because he likes us, or maybe he likes Zenon. But all of you guys are so important to this effort that I want to thank all of you for coming. And now, I told you, I hang out here. You give a lawyer a microphone and a title, you guys are in trouble. But I have a deadline, I'll get there. We are honored to have with us tonight many elected officials, many more than Somerset County has ever had. We don't have our congressionals here yet. They say they're coming. We'll see if they show up. And if they don't show up, we won't talk about them. Senator Nick Scutari, I believe, is here. If not, okay. I know my favorite Assemblyman of Pendra Chebikula. And now I want to introduce my other favorite Assemblyman, Assemblyman Joe Egan. And just because it excites me so much to have all of you as actively involved as you are, and because we have a bunch of races in this county, let's remember who's running this organization in Bedminster, Charles Ader. Charles has a couple of wonderful candidates he's running. John Graff, whom you've heard from. And another guy we stole from Luttenberg. We stole Mike Pock. Mike Pock is running a Bedminster. Bernardsville Township, we have Dottie Schleifer here. And she's brought a write-in candidate. We didn't have a candidate in Bernardsville Township, so I'm very excited to introduce Dottie Schleifer as her candidate. Bernardsville, Marielle O'Brien's done a great job as a chair there, and she got the first Democrat ever elected in that town in the form of Joe DeMarco. And this year, we're taking Joe DeMarco and running him for freehold. You know, we have a limited pool here. And substituting Lynn Sutcliffe, who's a good friend of mine, who is a very talented fellow who's running for council, and Linda Craigie running for mayor. Karen Carroll from Brook. Karen? Karen is one of those towns that shows everybody else in the state why Somerset County Democrats are going to stay on the map and increase their groundswell, and that's because in her town, they actually control the council. And so we have in Brook Councilman Hal Dietrich, Councilman John Buckley, Councilman Vinnie Petty, Councilman Tony Franzatelli, and Tony Franzatelli and Karen Carroll are running for office. You guys stand up and take their vote. And again, it's interesting. It will get better as time moves on in the sense that there will be twice as many people in this room, but you will hear the same names a couple of times tonight. Councilman Ben Auletta recently retired from the council in Brook, and he's just been a great addition to this organization and a mentor of mine. Thank you, Ben. Branchburg, we have a new chair, Joe Franzatelli. I bet you guys can guess. In Bridgewater, Rick Simon's doing a great job there. Rick's dad passed away, unfortunately, so Rick is not here, but he's got a great candidate in the form of John Rooney. John, would you stand, please? Where's my Franklin chair? Did he show up yet? We're going to skip Franklin. Joe Danielson has done a remarkable job in Franklin, and that's another town. Another town where I get to run through the whole list, and then we have to do it at the end, because you have Councilman James Vassanella, Councilman Rajiv Prasad, Councilman Dan Glicklick, Councilman Kimberly Francois, Councilwoman Faraz Sherman, Councilman Ted Chase, Councilman Carl Wright, and Councilman Phil Kramer, and I understand you're all here. So, Senator Nick Scutari. Greenbrook, Mayor Melanie Morano is the chair of Greenbrook. Melanie? Melanie has successfully gotten a couple of Democrats elected there too. Graciela Diaz, Councilwoman, and Councilman Eddie Pfeiffer. She's running a tremendously talented young man this year named Tom Tevis. And my secretary, Mike Goldberg, has taken over the leadership in Hillsborough and has a phenomenal candidate. If I use different adjectives, by the way, it's not meant to be that anybody's better than the other. You guys are all great. Maureen Bella. Mike Goldberg and Maureen Bella. Manville is one of those towns that really ought to be Democratic, and it was until we fell back a little bit last year. So the chairman, Joseph Lukak, is here. Joe? And he is running. Councilman Ed Komorowski and Frank Jurowitz. In Millstone, we have Mayor Mary Patrick and Mayor Ray Hack. I don't think they got here yet. They must be sitting in traffic. And Montgomery, Keith Hovey. Keith is a new chair in Montgomery. And we're running in Montgomery people who are doing what good elected officials should do. They're attending a council meeting tonight, so you have Councilwoman Louise Wilson, and she's running with Nina Singh. Good luck to both of them. Another Democratic town, Chairman Tom Fagan has done a wonderful job in North Plainfield. And I can run through those electeds too. And I have, some of you haven't been through this. I tell you that when we have too many electeds for this to be done in less than 10 minutes, we'll stop doing it. But right now, you have to listen. There we have Mayor Michael Giordano, Skip DeVille, Larry LaRonde, Mary Forbes, Robert Hitchcock, Frank Rogetti, Doug Singletary, and Ed Merrill, and they're all at a debate tonight because most of them are running for re-election. In Raritan, Chairman Vic Legini. And Vic, you've got elected in that town yourself, Councilman John LeMaistre and Councilwoman Maureen Wilson, who I will be working with. And wait a minute, I know you're running, hold on. John LeMaistre and Doug Wilsinski are running for council in that town. Good luck to them. And Rocky Hill, Bill O'Brien runs Rocky Hill. He tells me he doesn't have to run anybody for office because he's the titular mayor in any event. So Bill, welcome. In Somerville, Chairman Rob Wilson, also Councilman Rob Wilson. You two are one of our favorite, one of the 5 best towns in which to live in Somerset County because you're also run by Democrats. Councilwoman Pat Webster, Councilman Ken Utter, Councilman Dennis Sullivan, Councilman Rob Wilson, Council President Jane Kabuta, and Councilman Tom Mitchell. Congratulations, guys. And this year, Council President Jane Kabuta and Dennis Sullivan are up for re-election. We need to make that happen. In South Brook, a woman you know as the leader of this organization many years ago and a tremendous chair is Marie Scannell. Marie, thank you. And Marie has brought with her tonight the 2 women running for office, Councilwoman Carol Schaffer and Councilwoman Kathy Connor. In Warren, Chairwoman Joyce Hendricks is doing a great job, but she's working so hard she had to stay home sick tonight. She sent her husband, Peter. Peter, welcome. In Watchung, Keith Bala is the chair. Keith, welcome. And I'm told in the audience we have Mayor Jack O'Leary from South Amboy and Councilman Charles Carley from South Brunswick. If you're here, welcome. If you're not, come next year.